Hello my dear Sagittarius, this is your love and spirituality reading for the month of April 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Aries season, so happy birthday to all Aries out there and all Pisces that still have their birthday coming when I'm doing this reading. So I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, and if you do hit the thumbs up button, you are truly helping my channel to flourish here on YouTube by giving it more attention. So you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating and subscribing to my channel. I am so grateful for all of your appreciation. So this is a general reading for Sun, Moon and Rising sign. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. And for this reading, I used the Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan. And I will start shuffling your cards. So, when I open your deck here, Sagittarius, I see the Nine of Swords with Two of Pentacles. So it seems like you are in a little bit of a rough patch here. Nine of Swords facing your pain, Two of Pentacles not being particularly comfortable in that situation. So, but it's a balance act. It's about putting one step in front of the other and going through this a little bit darkness and pain to maybe realize all the things you have been exposed to and what it has done to you, without really making a sad story out of it. Just putting out the reckoning, so to speak, or the record, and starting to understand what it is that have wounded you and how you can prevent these things from wound you in the future. So it's not about becoming careful, it's more about putting up boundaries and being more sure of yourself. Instead of thinking, should I, shouldn't I, and wondering if you are allowed to protect yourself, or if you are allowed to say something. You are allowed to say something. You are allowed to put boundaries, okay? So I call the divine with love and light. And here we see the Three of Wands together with Two of Pentacles. So that's a little bit better. That is all your different parts of you that's working together towards the same goal. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a cough, so I'm going to have to pause now and then to not cough you in your ear. So I'm thinking there's people involved here, specific people. Three of Wands. Might be a situation that have broken down in some way with the Nine of Swords. With the Three of Wands, if you try to figure out your end of this and try to find yourself, it might be that the other person will be able to do the same. It's some kind of cooperation while going through this little bit. It's almost like the enchanted forest or the dark night of the soul, but you're going to find amazing things here, okay? So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we see Knave of Swords with this Two of Pentacles. So I'm thinking the person you are dealing with might be an air sign, or it might be that I'm feeling a little bit like a person that's suspicious of everyone and everything, but it's not because it's something wrong with them. It's more what they have been through, okay, that have made them like this. So sometimes we just need to see people's different personality traits as they are actually personal. Say nothing about you. I'm thinking there's a person maybe lurking around you and looking in to what you are doing, and might be wondering, like in awe a little bit, are we going through the same thing? Is this person actually the person that could truly deeply understand me? But I don't think they dare to really show their vulnerability in this situation. but it's like they're seeing you for the first time, and what they are seeing are surprising them because they feel a very deep connection. We had the Three of Wands showing before, and now this little Knave of Swords. But this is also about you, of course. If you have this person on the outside, it's on the inside. So it might be a part of you that haven't been able to communicate themselves earlier, just kind of sitting with their arms crossed a little bit and, okay, so this is how we're going to do things. And not being really happy with maybe how this whole show has been handled, and not being able to speak up for themselves. So it's like a passive-aggressive part of you that feels unjustly treated but haven't really told anyone. So that's kind of it. Okay. So I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers. So I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. Also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so it's done there. I'm going to pause for a few seconds and adjust your lights a little bit. I don't know if that even did a little ounce of difference, but for me it did a great difference because the flowers weren't lit and now they are, so I'm happy. Okay, so I'm just going to tune in here to you, Sagittarius, and the month of April for a few seconds here. Okay, so I hope you like my candle. It's a little Buddha figure I've done from the candles that I burn on a daily basis. So I got this beautiful little mold with the Buddha, but he will soon have lose his head. Maybe then he's not looking as swell. Okay, so my dear Sagittarius Buddhas, this is your future there. And this is your now, and this is your past. And in the past, we have a Knight of Chalices. So, Knight of Chalices can be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio person in your life. It might also be someone that have come with a loving message to you. It might be also a loving feeling that you have. I think there's someone here in the mix loving you. But we can see here they have the Two of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune. So they are kind of preventing some kind of happy outcome with you, or they were doing this in the past, where they felt like they wanted to do something amazing here, but they prevented themselves out of fear. Maybe you have had some kind of conflict. Here we see you. And Five of Cups, Five of Wands, maybe they felt you were pissed off with them, and they have prevented themselves from really reaching out or talking about the problem or getting closer to this subject because maybe not poking the bear, okay? And the bear in this case is you. So this is in the now, and we have an Eight of Wands. So Knight of Cups together with Eight of Wands, and here we have also the Fool card and Ace of Cups. I'm thinking there's a person really wants to reach out to you and talk about something that might have made you very angry or sad or disappointed in the past. They want to sort it out with you. They want to have clarification. They want to make amends or have a new beginning, okay, with these two cards. So they just need to bottle up the courage here and hope that their head won't be bite off as with this little Buddha figure. And here we have the Knave of Swords. So when they come, they might not look as open and vulnerable that as you would wish for you to not become angry and upset with them. They're going to put a little bit of a face on that they are cool and not affected by this at all. But they are deeply affected, and you know what I told you about this person here that they are actually deeply wounded, but they feel that no one will ever understand them or ever listen to them anyway. So therefore, they have had a hard time showing their vulnerability. But here we see the Tower and the King of Swords. So Aquarius can be a Gemini or a Libra as well, and Judgment. So I'm thinking this person is growing up through some tremendous transformation. So if you hope for a change in a certain person, that change will actually happen, it seems. It might be that you won't see so much on the surface level more than that they are reaching out to you, but they might not show what's going on inside of them with all these transformations and what they really feel and how scared they are, because they're trying to show this a little bit tough front. Okay. So in your past here, we have the Hierophant. So it seems like you are divinely connected with someone. Might have been some kind of divine marriage between you and another person. Feeling like a red ribbon is tied between you and another person. It's some kind of destined relationship here. Doesn't have to be a romantic partner. Can be a child or a friend or a family member of any kind of person that feels like family to you. This is the card of family tradition, marriage, the tribe, your tribe. The Hierophant is a teacher also, so this situation might have been calling you to be the teacher. I also called you my little Buddhas here, so try to be a good example for others. If you have a little bit of a temperament, try to have the temperament but without blowing it in someone's face. Just show exactly what you feel and what you want. If you don't hold back the temperament, just always let it come out as your truth. It won't have such an explosive effect, okay? If you keep your things in, and then you won't be such a good teacher when you have blown their heads off, okay? So, and here we have a Two of Swords. So I think you have been holding back a lot of your wisdom because maybe you didn't want to be nagging on someone, or you didn't want to write your truth on their forehead like I know best. You didn't want to be this the Hierophant can be a little bit a know-it-all, and you didn't want to be this know-it-all. So you might have been very diplomatic in the past, try to not tell people what to do and when to do it and why to do it. So you wanted to be a little bit humble. So it's nice to not tell people how they should live their lives until being asked. But if we are a teacher in a teaching situation, we might need to start to tell people what it is that we are seeing. In other case, we are not such a good teacher in this situation. Okay. So the next card here is the Five of Swords. So Five of Swords is when we haven't really told our truth, and then we are being unjustly treated, or someone is humiliating us and stealing our energy, and we haven't really done anything about it with the Two of Swords in up front there. So we just let it slide, and this might be the teaching moments when people are being rude towards you, unjust towards you, not looking out for your best interest. That could be a situation when you should speak up and tell your truth, and also put this boundary that we talked about earlier. You need to tell them how you want to be treated instead of becoming passive aggressive. Okay, and here we have the Eight of Cups. So it seems like you're choosing the very humble road here. You are the teacher. You don't tell people your wisdom. You don't share your wisdom with them. You just let them treat you maliciously in some way, and then you walk away. So where's the teaching in this? How are these people becoming taught by you? How are you showing them how they should treat others, or how they could live their life and be happier. Okay. So I'm thinking there's a song coming through, because when I said happier, I hear melody. I want you to be happier. So for some of you, this might be that the other person was the teacher but didn't want to stick around and, have this battle with you. And they just think, okay, so maybe this person will be happier without me if I'm walking away. They seem very upset anyway with the Five of Swords there. So maybe I let them, if they are so angry with me, they are not pleased with me. They always show that they are not loyal. They don't show respect. So they can't love me, so I'm walking away. So this is what I'm seeing has been done in masses. I'm thinking a lot of people have been doing this. So it just needed to happen, I think. This is the first stage of becoming this teacher. You were the teacher all along. It's just that here you weren't really prepared, or the other person wasn't prepared to take the joke of being the master, or the person that shows another person that this is not okay. I'm not going to allow you to continue treating me like this. Maybe this was a way of telling with action. Okay, just walking away. So it wasn't okay. They realized when you have been gone maybe for months here. And it's the devil. So things are still very much harboring in the shadows here. It's not being dealt with at all. 15, the devil, 1 + 5 is 6. So I'm thinking there's still a great connection between you and another person. It's just that now you're not revealing it to each other. Maybe because both people feel fed up with some kind of conflict, some situation that took a lot of energy. This is like situation here. This combination is like energy vampires. People that make you become so tired you can't even get out of bed. And here is the devil. So I'm thinking when people walked away from this situation that was their spiritual sadhana, it was just too intense spiritual teachings, too uncomfortable, bringing up too much junk from the shadows. So we couldn't tolerate being in it anymore, and we didn't know how to deal with this situation. So the dealing with it was to walk away. But all the things here that this other person, annoying, stupid person, was here to teach you, and you are here to teach them, is still unresolved. So it's still going to have to be resolved, either with this person or with someone else. So this is still here. This is Capricorn energy. You also have Taurus energy, so it's a lot of earth energy. But I'm thinking it's talking about you growing up and becoming more grounded and more stubborn, more like knowing yourself. And when you know yourself, you don't have to become anxious or, in and out to things. You just know who you are and what you want, and not getting so easily upset, not taking things so personally. And here we have this little Knight of Chalices, Chevalier de Cup, okay? And this little energy is very affected by other people around them. They want to be loved, they want to feel loved, they want to feel embraced, they want to feel secure, they want to feel included in the tribe. And if they don't get that, they will become very dramatic. So I'm thinking this is what have happened. Both people were maybe very vulnerable and had their certain projections, certain style of attaching to each other, which kind of blew up in their face. And then feeling like it didn't give their Knight of Cups so much of what they needed. Admiration, people hugging, holding hands, comforting when in tears, things like this didn't happen. It was just rather cold situation between two people where they weren't expressing their vulnerability Instead, they try to win over each other, and one or both people decided that this is not healthy, so we're just walking away. But all these things is still unresolved. It's just waiting there for you to go on this spiritual sadhana again and start to solve these problems. Okay, it's not really problems, but survival techniques that has been backfiring a little bit. Okay, and here we have underneath the Hierophant, we have a court. It's Justice, and it's Libra. You also have Libra here in the Two of Swords. So it's about balance in all situations. Balance, 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 balance. Don't carry too much. Don't carry too little. In a situation, if you know that you have been always the grown-up, always the mature, carrying the load, letting the other person get away with stuff, then you stop. You don't do that. You let them face the consequences of their own actions. If you have been that person, always playing hooky, always refusing to talk about things, refusing to sort things out, being a little bit self-destructive, and disappearing whenever someone needs you, then it's time to, man and woman up and be there for another person. And some of you, there's going to come to apology. We have both the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and Justice. So there's should come through an apology from either side, or it might just come as vulnerability. But and the vulnerability might be to just reach out, maybe to not so much actually show vulnerability, since we have the little knave here that acting so cool, okay, with their chessboard, their plans, their schemes, and their armors, okay. Justice is also universal law, so it's kind of karma. So if you have done things that was good, and it means not being overly good, but balanced good. Good means also making people responsible, not only letting them get away and carry everything, because that is not going to bring good things your way. When it comes to universal law, it will just come more of the same thing. If you have an imbalanced way of dealing with other people, they will have an unbalanced way of dealing with you. So if you carry a lot of people and you say, okay, that doesn't matter and I can fix it, and you will meet a lot of people which going to, you're going to need to fix things because they have destroyed it. So look at these things. Don't immediately feel like, oh, this is something I need to change immediately. No, you don't need to change it immediately. You just need to see what you are doing. Just see it, and you will naturally, gradually change in a very beautiful way. So don't be alarmed. Just see. Looking and being aware is wakening up. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Becoming awake, aware, see what's happening. Then naturally things will start to change for you. You will naturally change. So it's very beautiful. And here we have a beautiful King of Cups. So the Knight of Cups has now evolved into a King of Cups. So there's really love between people. For some of you, you're dealing also with Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, but the mostly I'm feeling here is a lot of love. It's like overflowing love. Maybe being in separation, faced with our own devil, we see that, well, even if this person was kind of mirroring all our shadows, they actually brought something like an essence of happiness into our lives. So now the love is greater than this with, I want to win over you, or I'm right and you are wrong, and my way and the highway. Here it's more like this overflowing love from the bottom of your heart, or the bottom of their heart. So it's very beautiful. It's also a picture of healing. This is when we transcend to this Buddha. We have both Hierophant and the King of Chalices here, showing the path of healing that will lead to a situation where you're very stoic, calm, non-anxious. You're found your own center of gravity, found out yourself to be a eternal being of eternal light. So why bother about the things flickering by like clouds? Yes, if you are this heavenly sky, the happenings in your life or your life altogether is just a cloud passing by. So you're becoming more zen, less taking things less personally, and also being more like the heart center has opened. So being able to be very empathic and understanding towards people, and also understanding when they need this boundary, when they need a no from you. Yes, okay. And sometimes we actually need to blow up in a person's face a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit tension here with the Two of Swords and the King of Chalices. It might come an emotional outburst, and that's okay, because we had a teacher at school. She was the kindest teacher you can ever imagined. But once a month, she was a little bit premenstrual, and she really, she chopped our heads off. I'm going with this, and then all the pupils were kind of minding their business and doing what they should instead of running around like crazy, hitting each other in the head and so on. When some weeks passed, people were getting out of hand again. She was going into menstrual tension and getting really aggressive again and putting everyone in order. So it was a very good cooperation there between her more aggressive cycles and our behavior. So sometimes it's needed. Sometimes we need to put people in their place, and then we can be soft and yielding the rest of the time. Maybe if we say every day, do that, they stop listening. Okay. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. I'm thinking this was my teacher at school, and she has the Five of Swords above her head. So that's when we were annoying her to death, and she was not feeling like we respected her at all, and still having this patience with us. So it's a very beautiful card. I think this person here, it's the kind of the divine feminine. Here's the divine masculine coming with some kind of offering of apologies. It doesn't mean that there will be a male coming to a female. It just means that the divine masculine inside of someone has been stubborn, self-righteous, knowing that they were right, having really great boundaries, being very persuasive, things like this. That person is going to come and say that they're sorry, that they have had some insights. With the Two of Swords above their head, I think they have been weighing pros and cons, trying to find balance. Okay, what did I say? What did this person say? What happened? So I think they have been really thinking about things without really telling anyone. But we can see here on this Queen of Pentacles, she has a little bit hard time trusting this. Okay, you look at her glance. Here he comes and saying, I have only flowers and rainbows and butterflies for you. And she says, really, am I supposed to trust you now? She wants to. She has her whole body turned towards him. But in the same time, she just wants to run away from there because she remembered the Five of Swords here. So this might be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. We have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here in a beautiful triangle. But it shows about this with being a teacher, being grown up, being rock solid, not letting people affect you so much. I'm thinking the divine feminine in all of us needs to become more rock solid, and the divine masculine needs to become more vulnerable. So then there's going to be balance also in these polarities, and it's going to create beautiful things for humanity as a whole. And here we have the Moon card. So there's a lot of Eight of Cups here. I think this Queen of Pentacles had lost a lot of energy to these noisy kids Wands, and we have the moon is the moon cycles. So this is not a picture of trust. This is a picture of if I walk away and leave you behind, at least I will have peace and quiet. I will be alone with the devil here, the dark night of the soul, everything like this. But everything is easier than to not having your respect, or not having your love, or having you fool me over and over and over again. So this is the different things that the Queen of Pentacles have in her mind. Am I going to let them fool me like a 10,000 times? 10,000 times. It's this with turning the other cheek. If the sinner has, awakened and wants a second chance, Jesus taught us we were supposed to turn our other cheek and give them a second chance. But if they were worthless, it was okay to throw out the worthless servant on the street. So maybe she's thinking, can I muster enough strength to go through all this again? Or am I rather going through this alone? And when we go through things alone without this kind of dark night of the soul, it's actually easier than to go through it with another person that doesn't understand this path, okay, and isn't in it, or isn't even on the threshold or going through it. But I'm thinking this person here has had some kind of touch with this and now understands better. So going through this together with someone that has been on the journey or are on the journey, I think this can be wonderful to help each other through this and go together hand in hand through this enchanted forest. Must be much easier than to go through it alone. And here we have a Four of Wands, so there still lives love in the Queen of Pentacles' heart, even though she thinks that the divine masculine, male or female, is the devil. So I'm in love with the devil. I'm hearing it's a scene from that 70s show with Ashton Kutcher and Mila, maybe is her name. She says, I'm in love with the doofus. So this is what I'm seeing here. I'm in love with the doofus. But the love is so strong here, this lion here. And it's so solid. And it's also so divinely created. And it's the plan here, the chessboard. It's a destiny. So it's hard to argue with destiny. You can say, I'm not up for it. I don't have it in me. I can't pick myself up and do this once again. But your heart says something else. And your the shadow here still needs to be dealt with. This lifetime or the next one. This person or another person. So we have 8 of Wands and 4 of Wands here. It's passionate yet very stable. It's like an ever burning candle, okay? It's something, a kind of love that doesn't burn out, not time nor space, nor these annoying 5 of Swords or walking away have done anything to this love. It hasn't changed at all, okay? It's still the same. Maybe it's burning even brighter and even stronger because of what went down here. People realized a thing or two of what was worth something. So I think love is there from both ends. It's just that there's deep trust issues here. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't trust this. She has been fooled too many times and doesn't want to go on another round with this. So this is your future, and we have a 6 of Pentacles. So more of this, I'm sorry, I want to work together. I see now that things was imbalanced between us. I understand that I need to contribute more. I understand that I need to carry the load for us. I can't let you take care of all the things, all the relationships issues, or all the everyday issues. I need to carry this together with you. So I want to be the bigger person. I want to fix this. I have grown. I'm an adult now. So there's a lot of beautiful things here. It's about balance, balance, balance. the Hierophant can be either over-functioning or not functioning at all. He's a little bit over-functioning, and they are kind of learning to how to function. So sometimes we need to over-function. For example, when it comes to our kids, you can't say to the baby just, yeah, it's your turn to fix the dishes. Well, they can't even walk just yet. So there's certain times in a human being's life when there needs to be, you need to over-function. And I think you did here. I think you over-functioned as a parent to another person for a very long time, and it's exhausted you. But now this person promised balance, justice. I will not lie to you anymore. I will show openness. Okay, I will show my true face here. I have so much to tell you. And with the Six of Pentacles, they want to do the work. Okay, they want to put in the work to making things more balanced. And that's all you can ask for a person to try. You can't force them to succeed, because it's hard. If you're learning a new skill, you will try, you will fail, you will try again, you will fail, you will try again, you will fail, and at some point, eventually, you will start to become successful. And Queen of Pentacles kind of needs to have a little bit of patience with this and not taking the failures so personally, maybe becoming more stoic, more self-loving, maybe more invested in her own life and in her own, I say her because it's the divine feminine, but it can be a male person, in her own inner world and spiritual growth, and let this person, try and fail and try and fail and try and fail, while she is okay. So now it failed again, but I'm focusing on my meditation here. So, okay. And here we have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands comes underneath the Two of Swords and the King of Chalices. So this person has, it's like a car battery, being kind of, before it wasn't really charged, and now it's more charged than it was before. It's not perfectly charged. So it's a person, they have a certain amount of energy to put into this before they maybe cycle back and become their old self. So it's like this. When we want to try something new, we think, oh, I have the answer, I will improve myself. We have a certain fuel for this, and then we will circle back. And we will start to do that stupid shit again. And it's all right, okay? Then it will happen, some kind of reaction again that will show, this isn't okay, I can't take this. And then we sharpen ourselves up again. We have this amount of energy because we are focused. We know what we want. We don't want to lose this person, for example. So we want to do the best we can to make an effort. So it's like this menstrual cycle. It needs to come again and again and again. A new smack every time this car batteries kind of died and the focus is lost. So the person needs to have a bitch slap again. So don't think the work is done, and I think she knows it, and that's why I feel so much hesitation from her. She knows that this will be an eternal work forever and ever. I will have to become mad at these students and chop their heads off, and when they have glued themselves back together, they will come and they will say, okay, we will be better students, but they will just keep it up for 3 weeks, and then they're going to fail again, and I don't know if I have it in me, okay? But an assignment is an assignment, and I think people will choose sometimes the harder road, going with this, the great love, this great spiritual sadhana. Others will have to battle it out with sometimes their friends, sometimes a client at work, sometimes with their parents or their neighbor, or so they will take it in smaller potions and not and thinking that all people are so difficult, but it actually them facing their shadow from different directions. So in smaller portions. Not all people needs to rush towards the sea, like Khalil Gibran said. Some people wants to take the little bit of detour and collecting even more data, more experience. And here we have the Magician. So I'm thinking the Queen of Pentacles will pick herself up and say, okay, So I still feel there's some juice left in me. And I have things to tell you. Oh God, do I have things to tell you. The devil, the moon. So it's a lot of memories here about how this other person was the doofus. So there's a lot of teaching material ready. We need to be able to see the past. We don't have to be judgmental about how people have failed in the past, but we can be awake and aware to the fact. So when we see they're repeating the pattern again, we can say stop, look, see what is happening now. The person might not stop and look, and they might continue doing the destructive thing, and then things blows up in your face. But if you loses your memory and you don't remember that the person did this stupid shit before, you will always become surprised and always start on square one. So it's important to see what's what and still understand that it's not the person, it's the person's pattern. And it's also how your pattern is, playing with this other person's pattern and making the demons inside of you dance so swell together. We're usually very attracted to a person that can poke around in our wound. So you will find the person that's perfect. If you're scared of being abandoned, you're going to meet a person that's on a regular basis abandons people. If you are scared of being like losing control over your life, someone comes and they know everything. So you're going to meet a person like this, the Hierophant, that knows everything and always going to tell you how to live your life. So we attract what we fear the most. And here we have a 6 of Wands. So 3 of Wands, Magician, 6 of Wands. Okay, so this is someone not being particularly super loving. Okay, it's not like, oh, I love you to pieces, I will never leave your side. I think this is the Queen of Pentacles. She's more like, okay, I will give you a chance, follow my lead. So it's very she's very non-compromissive about this. 6 of Wands, she's going to lead the troops here. She's not going to be quietly, idly see when the person screws up anymore. It's like, okay, if I am allowed to be the leader here, if I'm allowed to also tell my truth and not be silent and say, oh, you always want to talk, and you have so many questions, or you're so over dramatic, and you're crazy. If you're not going to tell me this, but actually follow my lead, and when I tell you that things are becoming like very close to how they were before, we stop and we think and we look. So this person kind of needs to go into a little bit of a contract here, where they actually give the other person a little bit of the power. I think this person had a lot of the power before. They were kind of this is how things should be done. Okay. I have the key to this house and I decide. So that's the divine masculine in my interpretation. So, and the divine feminine here, she kind of allowed it because that's in the divine feminine's nature to be passive and agreeing. But here she says, okay, so if you acknowledge I'm the leader here and you are going to listen to my voice, and when I say things are bad, they are bad. And yeah, so that's the term here. At least to be listened to. If this person doesn't want to follow, I think the Queen of Pentacles will walk on alone. Yeah, we see here with the 10 of Wands, she doesn't have so much tolerance. Okay, it's a very, very short fuse here. So the blowing up is a big potential. Okay, so this, and it's like this is how it was written, because this person needs to sharpen up. Okay, they need to sharpen up. They know they have done things that was very self-righteous and kind of a little bit on the ego scale. It's fear, of course, making a person wants to control everything, and you are not the boss of me. So becoming like that is because we're fearing losing control. So we gain a lot of control, but this person needs to give away their control. Let this person be the leader. And if they do something that is kind of looking as the old thing, they're going to have a rather intense reaction from the other person, showing them. It's almost like this system in the new cars, showing when you are out of line. Beep, 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 beep. So this is where it beep, beep, beeps, and here it when it blows up. So the car doesn't, just beep, beep, beep. It's going to blow up if you cross the line. So it's a person being very intense with a lot of feelings here. Very tired, very exhausted, feeling like they have given things to controlling, bossy people all their lives, and here they don't tolerate it. It's like an allergic reaction. But this person here, it's about to come out of their shell. So this person is not ideal for this situation either. They want to be like this, like open-hearted, overflowing with love, but they will soon step back into this energy. And it's not a bad energy. It's just how they were forced to become to survive at some point in their different incarnation or in this incarnation. And it's just what it is. And here you are now to wake them up of this and show to them that whenever they go back to their shell, they're losing you. Whenever they are able to be open, mature, grown up, and vulnerable, they have you. As soon as they become like sneaky planning, controlling, manipulating, that's when the bound between you stretch so thin. Okay, so it's so intense, but it's how it needs to be for this person to wake up. And the former situation where someone needed to become very exhausted to wake up and start to, get a little bit pissed off, it was also needed. So everything here is needed. It's hard. It's not ideal. It's not easy for this person to become vulnerable. And it wasn't easy for this person to become bossy either. But we are all awakened to what needs to awaken inside of us. It's like shadow parts that has lie dormant because they were kind of ruled out as unnecessary in this lifetime. I need to be diplomatic. I need to be nice so people will stay with me. So these other aggressive parts was kind of pushed into the shadow. And other people acknowledged also that you pushed certain things into the shadow. So they will poke at it. And they will do like this. And they will also shame you for it. Don't be over dramatic. When she knows she can be like a real bitch here and like chop people's heads off. Okay. So she knows this, so she has been keeping it calm. Maybe she has been a head shopper in an earlier lifetime, and she realizes to take people's life like this was a bad thing. So she has tried to become more loving and generous, and she has worked very hard on that. But so hard that this other side that was once her superpower, become a part of her shadow. So now all these things need to come out and be used in balanced measurements like tranquility. Okay, so I'm going to take an oracle of the angels for you, and we have this source of life. Whoops. Okay. 36, and I open it directly, so it was really meant to be. Okay. God, the source of all life, is within you, with you and around you at all times. The source of life permeates everything in existence. You can move closer to this divine source simply by holding this answer that God is everywhere in everything. Feel yourself held in His love and glow in His light. The source of all life is within me, with me and all around me. I am embraced by a great love that fills my being and brings me peace. So there's a beautiful satsang with Moojiji. I like the beginning of it. I saw it a couple of days ago, and I will put it in the description box for you, so you can find this source of life. You will be surprised if you haven't, if you didn't know this already. So I'm going to take a card for the emotions of your significant others towards you. There's a deeper reason for each of your questions. Seek it. So it's about these questions. It's like the search for the Holy Grail. You need to ask the right question. Guidance, attention, help, maybe. Love, always. Criticism, never. The question was, what to give others is anything at all. Isn't it fun being you, the universe? So I think this is the parallel that many of you have been living by, to always give just love, 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 love. But you need to understand now that you also need to show these boundaries, and it's okay to be this very short-fused person for now. And I think that this person hopes they are kind of set on the person you were before. So this is who they love and they want back. They don't know that you have shifted and become a little more aggressive. So they will be surprised, and they might be scared back into this pretty quickly. But it's just the next phase of what they need to learn here. It's just the next, it's even more intense learning that's going to happen. So it needed to be more advanced. They hoped to come back to this loving embrace of this unconditional loving person, always giving the other cheek, but they will be surprised, I think. So this is your feelings towards them. Okay, it's this one. What would love do? So that's very sweet and Buddha-like of you. Do you know why it's so easy for us in the unseen to quickly pinpoint your whereabouts? You leave behind footprints of love, or the universe. The legend of Bigfoot continues. So big loving feet everywhere. Okay, so this deep love within you, but this energy here, it comes out of self-love, but it also comes from the source. When you are your natural self, you are God, okay? As God intended you. The seed that she planted here on earth, and you are, when you are growing as it, when you express it, you show gratitude to the planter, okay, the one that planted you. So if you are angry, you're angry. Just roll with it. Whenever you feel anger, you express it. I feel very angry right now. You don't have to throw things necessarily. You can express it. The anger is an ignition that wants to show something. Okay, it's kind of an answer to a question. Okay, my dear Sagittarius, I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care. I want to welcome you back to my May. Oh God, time is moving so fast. The May reading that I will perform in the middle of April. I'm also going to push out some pick a card readings. I have been battling with this influenza, so I haven't been able to do it as I planned, but I will try to put some out there if God is willing. Okay, so until then, take really good care and bye-bye.